really excited for the opportunity to play play a game and go to the Final Four versus I think it becomes obviously even more exciting because of the quality of the opponent. I just think a UConn Gonzaga game, West Region final is just an exciting game to be a part of. So we obviously know their quality, one of the best teams in the country, and have been one of the best teams in the country, for recent memory. So excited about the game. Obviously, it's a great challenge.
Start right here in front.
Dan, Mike Anthony from Hearst. Knowing that you're coaching one of the biggest games of your life tomorrow, what is today like for you? You think you'll get any sleep tonight?
Yeah, it's an important game. I just, I've coached a lot of games. I don't think, unless somebody's got like an injury, or again, if somebody drops on me that Adama's not going to be eating, otherwise, you put the preparation in, you know your identity as a team. Obviously, you've got a short prep to get ready for, your opponent. But I think at this time of the year, I think for most teams, everything's pretty automatic. You just try to get your team in the best frame of mind, mentally, and keep them fresh, and go try to give your best performance. But stressing and turning, tossing and turning, that won't be me tonight. I'll sleep like a baby.
Okay, right here in front.
Adam Betts with the Journal-Inquirer. Coach, what are your thoughts on Coach Few and what he's done with the Gonzaga program and turned it into a mid-major, into a national power?
Yeah, obviously, they hit the mark across the board. Player development, the culture, the winning. Final Fours, obviously, putting guys in the NBA. They've, they do it with a culture that's widely respected. So, share the sideline with some coaches more than others. You have greater respect for what they've been able to do in their career and how they've done it. Obviously, Mark's one of those guys you have a lot of respect for.
Hey, John.
Dan, John Fanta from Fox Sports. Last night, Adama Sanogo talked after the game, and he told me that he'll talk to himself in the mirror tomorrow morning about who he needs to be, and you can do this, Adama. Who is Adama the person, and what made you fall in love with him in the first place?
Yeah, Adama the person is just that rare, rare individual in terms of the intangible qualities. Obviously, he's got tremendous physical strength and touch and athletic abilities, but he's got a tremendous makeup. His work ethic off the charts, his competitive will off the charts. He's got tremendous working character, and just the guy's a warrior, and and he's a guy that values winning more than anything else.
Okay, Ed.
Ed Green, Review Journal. Coach, is it your leadership that kind of allows you to perform as you did yesterday on this team, despite everything that's happened, whether it's the bus, whether it's the hotel? I mean, you must have leaders, that kind of can compartmentalize, and then when it's time to go, go.
Yeah, it really hasn't been that bad. And Luke said that his phone went off. There was a story about the bus being vandalized. It hasn't been that bad. We've had some minor inconveniences that we're not even thinking about because we're so joyful about being in Vegas and playing, having an opportunity to go to the Final Four. So, but we have a mature team in terms of Adama and Andre's leadership, and and they're battle tested because of the Big East, man. When you play in the Big East, and especially the top of our league was as good as any, or I think is the best of any league in the country this year. So the Big East toughens you up when you have some minor inconveniences.
Okay, Adam.
Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review-Journal. You just mentioned Adama and what he's meant to the team. What do you expect from him, I guess, specifically defensively against Timmy, and is that the kind of challenge you expect him to embrace?
Yeah, it's, with Drew Timme, you're talking about, one of the best big guys, to ever play college basketball. So it's obviously a tremendous challenge, for him and Donovan, and for our entire team. You can't, you've got to have help, and you've got to see some bodies. You can't just leave him, one-on-one. He's got to see some crowds, even though that's not really what we do. But yeah, I mean, he knows the challenge. The team knows the challenge. Drew Timme is one of the best bigs to play college basketball.
Okay, in the back corner.
Hi, Dan. Wayne Norman, Yukon Sports Network. It's well documented that your bench has really been productive during this current run. But one guy I'd like you to talk about is Naheem Aline. His points are up, his production is up, he's been scoring for you. He's 8 of his last 15 three-pointers. What he means to your team and the production off the bench.
Yeah, when we're extremely formidable, the bench has played a big part in that. Obviously, going into the season, or at the end of last season, understanding that we needed to improve our perimeter attack and bring in veterans to supplement that core of Jordan, Andre, and Adama, and Donovan and Alex, that core. But Naheem has got NCAA experience. He's been successful in the tournament. That was a big reason why we were attracted to him, because of how well he played in that first round game against Florida when he played at Virginia Tech. Because we knew we needed to have players that had the mental makeup to step up in stressful situations.
Right down front.
Dave Borges, Hearst, Connecticut Media. Dan, with Adama and Timme and Donovan as well, 3 of the better big men really in the country tomorrow. Do you think it's been a good thing to see the return of the big man in college? I mean, the Big East certainly, but all around the country. It's been a good development for just to see so many good centers this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes the game more interesting in terms of the tactics. You can watch an NBA game, and literally never see anything besides like a million threes and then dunks, right? And the kind of the back to the basket, throwing the ball in the post. I just think there's college basketball. It's a lot more diversified, and obviously these big back to the basket type of centers that can do damage in the paint. The NBA is not necessarily calling for them, right? They want guys that can make threes and play in space. So, it's certainly it's to the benefit of the college game, because you get so many outstanding players that now are staying in college.
Okay, back here.
John Titel from Hoops HD. You're not the only UConn basketball team playing this weekend. How close are the men's and women's teams, and can you even comprehend the idea of a coach who's been to 22 Final Fours?
That's how many, Gino? Was it 30 straight Sweet 16 or 29 straight? Yeah. He's just stopped counting in the high 20s, right? No, I mean, you can't fathom that. No. And then, and it's really close. I think just the players between both programs and the coaching staffs are very closely connected and very supportive, and we share a practice facility, and I think we're each other's biggest fans, and I think it's a really cool thing that this March we're holding up our end of it.
Okay, in front.
Dan, Gavin Keefe from the London Day. What kind of challenges does Gonzaga present for your defense? Obviously, one of the highest scoring teams, with the highest scoring in the nation.
Yeah, #1 offense in the country, and it's it's a tremendous challenge, because they stress first of all, the pace that they come at you with, in terms of how quickly they get the ball reversed from side to side, how quickly they get the ball down the court on makes, misses. Your ball screen defense is stressed. Your low post defense is stressed. They've got all types of shooting on the perimeter. Versatility. They got great depth at guard. So our defense will face its greatest challenge, and they play in a similar way to Xavier, which I don't know how good a news that is for us, because we had trouble guarding them, but we did. They play a very, very similar offensive style to something that we were able to see twice during the course of the year, in terms of their spacing and how they attack you.
Over here.
Sam Gordon, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Dan, for you, what is the most fulfilling component or part of being a basketball coach?
Yeah, I mean, easy, just the relationships. Just everyone that you're on the mission with, you know, the players, the coaching staff, you know, getting to know Andre Jackson, you know, and his family, his mom Trish, and his brother Marcus as like a 15, 16-year-old. You know, convincing him to believe in you, that you're the person to help him holistically develop into a great man and a great player, and you know, let's go and chase a Final Four together. And then when it comes to fruition, and all that time you've spent together, you know, like we spend 11 months a year together. You know, every day that these guys are on campus, our program runs summer 1, summer 2. They're not optional programs. Like every day that these guys are on campus, we are on and we are together every day. So, you know, you truly are, you know, your family. I mean, and to do this together is special. Not just the great moments, but having to pick each other up after great failures. I mean, just doing it all together, the roller coaster ride, man. It's like, it's a bond that you have with other people that most people don't get to experience.
Right over here.
Don Amori, Hartford Courant. Dan, when you look at the teams that are still playing, obviously 3 from the Big East, America and Mountain West, et cetera, only a couple of Power 5 schools. What does that say to you about college basketball and, you know, maybe the teams that would seem to have the most resources don't necessarily have an advantage over schools and conferences that prioritize basketball?
Yeah. Well, obviously NIL has affected, you know, where the, you know, talent formerly was attracted to big brand programs, right? Like I don't want to name them, you know, but the biggest brands with the most national championships and the most NBA players, you know, that was kind of, you know, that was the huge advantage that you don't really have in recruiting anymore with NIL, with the transfer portal. Obviously, the extra year, COVID players, the inventory of players that are available for programs across the board to strengthen their team, like that extra year, the inventory is greater. So that levels the playing field as well. But yeah, I just think it's the convergence of those things. I do not think, you know, that it's going to change. I think this is probably just the new normal, and you know, you can't rest on your laurels as a university or as a basketball program because you have a rich history or tradition. You know, that this game has changed.
Anything else for Coach? Coach, thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow night.
Yes, thank you guys. See you.
Appreciate it. Absolutely. By the way, I will tell you that everybody in Vegas is rooting for you after the shit you've had to go through. Andy, can you guys get some cups of water for the players? Oh, we got some coming. I told them to bring some. Okay, we're joined today by our UConn student athletes, Tristan Newton, Alex Caravan, Adama Sanogo, Jordan Hawkins, and Andre Jackson Jr. And we will open things up for questions to our student athletes. Please raise your hand, and we will bring a microphone to you. We'll start right down front here.
This is for Adama, Gavin Keefe from the London Day. Adama, what are your thoughts on Drew Timme and playing against him and what you've seen on him on tape?
Watching his game, I know like he's one of the best players in the country, you know. And we know like he's well coached, and you know like he's a good player. So I think it's gonna be a good matchup for us. You know, this is a team that are well coached. They have a good coach. So I can't wait. You know, I'm definitely like looking forward, and I think it'll be a fun game tomorrow. Yeah.
John, back here.
Hey guys, John Fanta from Fox Sports. This question's for, I'll zone in on Andre and Jordan here. Last night, Adama talked about this team coming together after January, and that you guys had a meeting, and the way the meeting started wasn't the way the meeting ended. What do you recall about what happened in that conversation between you guys that has led you to the run you've gone on now?
Really, that meeting was just a talk amongst us about stuff we had to do and hold each other to a higher standard, the UConn standard, and then really just it was just about taking an everyday approach to just getting better as a team. And we all did that, and we made that true, and we all been doing a pretty good job of just making sure we're all on the right page, or on the same page.
Yeah, I follow up to what he said. I mean, just had the man-to-man conversation. So, like, we just had to be real with ourselves. Like, we just know we didn't want to be in the same position that we were last year. So we had to look ourselves in the mirror and take that big leap that we had to take. So.
Any other questions? Oh, another one for John there.
Guess I'm going to focus on you here, Alex. As a fellow front court player, what have you learned from the guy to your right? Do you have any story that comes to the top of your brain about Adama Sanogo?
I mean, I've learned a lot from him. I mean, just seeing him off the court, just how he is as a person, how he carries himself. And then on the court, his work ethic. I mean, he's one of the hardest working players on this team. So it's really driven me to work hard too. And he makes my life so much easier on the basketball court. We communicate with each other a lot. He controls the inside and the paint so much to where it helps me out on the perimeter as well. So he's a great teammate. Some stories, I mean, you know, he blames me a lot of stuff. He calls me the freshman a lot of times. He blames me all the time. So, I mean, he's a great teammate, and I love him.
Okay, back here.
Brennan Quinn with The Athletic. Andre, what do you think Dan was like as a player?
Probably really gritty. He was probably really gritty. He played a lot of defense. When he told me, though, he said that he was more of like a playmaker, had a lot of different skills, good skill sets. So I've watched some of his highlights at Senior Hall and stuff on YouTube. So I'm definitely a fan.
Right here in the middle.
This one can be for Andre.
Please
oh, sorry.
identify
Yeah,
affiliation.
Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated. Andre, I'm curious. I talked to Joey C. The other day. He said that sometimes he watched highlights of the Alabama game and some of the stuff in Portland to kind of remind him how good you guys could be when you share the ball that way. Did you ever do stuff like that, like just to try to remind yourself of how good this team was early in the season when you guys were struggling?
Yeah, definitely. I think I always do that. I'm always constantly watching our team. I just like to watch us play because the way we play is very selfless. We all touch the ball. We all moving the ball. So every time there's a game, I always watch the game, and then I watch like the breakdowns of the game as well. So every game, I think I just tune in and try to watch and see just the way we play, how we could get better.
Adam down front. We'll bring the microphone down front.
Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review-Journal. For Tristan, obviously defense is a team game, a team concept, but how much faith do you guys have as a team in what Adama can do against Timmy tomorrow?
I feel like he'll do a great job. He's been doing a great job all year against whoever he's played, so we have great faith that he can guard whoever we put him on. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Anything else? Okay, we have John back here again.
Tristan, earlier this season you talked about the UConn standard and how much it means to you to be a Connecticut point guard. What can you say about the opportunity at hand tomorrow as a Connecticut point guard to write a chapter on an Elite Eight game?
I mean, yeah, it's a big honor to be in the spot that we are. But like I said, I'm not focused on like myself, to be honest. I'm just trying to do whatever I could do to help the team win. So, yeah, it is a big honor, but it's not just me as a point guard, it's everybody else.
Okay, Jesse back here in the back.
Andre, obviously we all know the
Jesse,
attention.
identify yourself.
Jesse Merrick, Channel 3 Las Vegas out here. Andre, we all know the attention that Drew Timme obviously commands. Outside of him, though, what are the other things that stand out about this Gonzaga team that make them so tough to play against?
I mean, they're the best offense in the country, and they're very efficient. They have a lot of different guys, a lot of different weapons. Definitely Drew Timme has been a really good player every year he's been in college, so we know what he brings to the table, and around him he has a lot of people that can shoot the ball, some good role players. At the 4, they got number 22. He's pretty good role player, so they got a lot of guys that fit around his style of play. So they are a good offensive team, but we're a really good defensive team as well, so really just going to go out there and try to disrupt the rhythm of their offense and really just stick to our script and what we do.
One down front here.
This is for Alex Gavin Key from the London Day. You guys have been pretty loose as a team so far, and obviously tomorrow a trip to the Final Four is on the line. Can you continue to stay loose going into this big game?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, we're coming off a lot of momentum right now. We just had a great win yesterday and a bunch of great wins throughout the entire season. So we want to keep building on it. I know we're excited to reach the Final Four. We want to reach the Final Four. That's been a goal of ours since the beginning of the season. So we just want to get out there and start playing.